Greetings from amazing Antarctica. This is Jim Miller of Miller Travel and Adventures and Cruise Planners, and my wonderful wife behind the camera. We're taking a look here and staying on the Regent Seven Seas Splendor, and we're going to show you in this video the difference between an expedition cruise in Antarctica and a regular cruise. Enjoy our video.
So we're starting our video on what we call a regular cruise down to the Antarctic. We're on the Regent ship, as I said before in the beginning of the video. And the difference being is that when you're on a regular cruise line and you're down in the Antarctic, you stay on the ship. So you're not getting off and doing any exploring. You're doing all your exploring from the ship. But as you can see, it is absolutely beautiful. And you get a lot of different views because the ship is going to position itself so that you can relax and enjoy. So it kind of depends on the type of person you are and what you want to get down to the Antarctic. So what the ship does is there's different places it's going to go to, and you are at different areas of the ship. You can walk, you don't have to run or everything. It goes very slow. In fact, when it gets there, it stops and it rotates. We'll show you a little bit that a little bit later in the video. But as you can see, the sights are amazing. The landscape is just beautiful. Here we are on the outside observation deck on the Splendor. And yeah, you got to bundle up. It's Antarctica, but you have options where you can go in and out. That's really cool. And you'll see people using binoculars. You definitely need binoculars when you're on a regular cruise ship doing Antarctica. They have scientists aboard or naturalists. They're there to help you, to talk to you about what you're seeing and point things out for you. And there's also a head scientist who gets on the intercom and tells you what's coming up and what you're seeing, and especially cues you into wildlife. You do see wildlife. It's not as close. You're going to definitely need the binoculars, but it is amazing. So if you get a little bit of cold, you can go inside. This is inside our cabin. And we can kind of keep an eye out where we're going and if they're seeing anything. And if you're lucky enough to have a balcony room, then you can go out on your balcony. But you can even use the TV to spot things. This is from our balcony, and we're just taking a look. As you can see, we're just cruising very slowly, and we're coming from one point to another. And you can see the landscape here on the Regent Seven Seas Splendor. It's absolutely stunning. We're heading to a different part of the islands. So we have briefings. This is one of the scientists. Every day in the evening before dinner, there's a briefing of where we're going the next day. So he's pointing out that we're heading to Deception Island and where we're going to park the ship and what we're going to see. They'll tell you all kinds of different things. Just know that there's always a plan A where we're going, and there's a plan B and a C and a D, E, F, G, maybe even H. You never know. That goes for both cruises, whether it's expedition or, in this case, we're on the regular cruise line, because the weather in Antarctica and the ice determine where they can put the boats. So either voyage, no matter which one you take, you're going to have lots of different plans, but never is there a problem, because there's a lot of different plans and a lot of places to go. So it might take you a little extra time sailing, but it's absolutely beautiful to get there. We are actually in that Deception Island now, kind of in the middle, just cruising around. You can see we're turning slightly. My wife Kathy is turning the video camera also, and we're just kind of cruising around, taking a look at how beautiful things are. Yes, we did see some wildlife. This is one of the research centers on Livingston Island, one of the islands that we stopped at. And as you can see, we're on our balcony right now. The ship is just slowly turning 360 degrees. So you don't have to run to up on the deck and run to one side to see something. You just take your time, cruise. You can sit on your deck, listen to the voice of the head scientist over the intercom, or you can just enjoy, have a drink if you want to, and enjoy the sights and watch the ice, and then look for all kinds of different wildlife. We saw lots of birds and seals and whales, different things that we are able to see. But again, emphasizing that it is definitely a binocular. Oh, and then, yep, when you're up on deck, if you're cold, they've got hot chocolate and coffee and they're bringing it around to you. And they also have the observation lounge, which is in the front of the ship with 180-degree views of beautiful windows, which they kept very clean, by the way. And you can come back in, get a little warm, sit down on a couch and enjoy and watch the world go by. Some people took advantage of this because they, being outside, they can only be outside for a little while because that depends on who they are. And there's also some snacks. You can't see them, but behind there's some snacks and coffee and hot chocolate and cocktails if you want them. This is looking out the front glass of the observation lounge. Just kind of, we were in between things. We're heading to a different area. And yep, lo and behold, we saw humpback whales right there near our ship. And these little cute Gen 2 penguins, they're still bopping and heading there. It's just beautiful. So yeah, we did see wildlife, but again, it's one of those where you have to be very, very quick with it, and you have to definitely have binoculars or a very, very good camera person like my wife, because you never know if they're going to be on the ice here or where they're going to be. They did point them out. So there's different islands that we went to. Some of the same islands you'll go if you're doing an expedition cruise, because you'll see the expedition ships. So this is amazing. I mean, take a look at that picture. It's just amazing. And maybe you'll choose this version, for your journey, because this is what would suit you as a person. The cool thing is we can help you with that because we've been on both. And as the landscape goes, we're going to now transition to our expedition. So this is the Silversea Expedition ship, and we actually saw one of them out there. You'll see some other expedition ships, as you can see here. They're smaller in size, holding somewhere around 100 people. And this is the type of ship where you're going to get off and you're going to spend a lot of time. So you're going to need the gear. So there's us kind of getting ready for the day on the expedition cruise. And you can see Silversea is great. They give you those jackets and keep them. And they also give you boots to wear during the journey, and you bundle up. And yep, you got to bundle up because you're going on land and we're going on Zodiacs. There's a mud room right here getting ready, and then off we go. So getting on the Zodiacs is an adventure, so that's something you need to consider whether you're wanting to do an expedition or you're wanting to do a traditional cruise. But just know that they're really good about taking care. There's only about 6 people in a boat. That's one of the scientists. So the scientists actually go out with you, 1 scientist per boat. It's really cool. And they take you out and tell you have different things. And this is where you get to see the wildlife up close and personal. So we're going to cruise out. Sometimes you're cruising like we are here in a Zodiac and kind of spotting things. Sometimes you're going to be on land. We'll show you in a little bit here in the video. But as you go, you can definitely see, and if there's wildlife, we're going to stop. So this was a leopard seal sitting on an iceberg. On the other cruise, we could see this with binoculars. Here, we're going to pull right up, and we're going to get a shot. We actually pulled up and stayed. No, that is not a telephoto lens. That's just, we just pulled the boat right up and took pictures. Oh, there's those penguins. You remember the penguins in the other video? Well, now we're right with them, and they're swimming right at us. And look, quick underwater shot of them too. And then this is one of my favorite videos. These little Gen 2 penguins coming right at you. You're on land here. You're just hiking around, and they don't care. They just they're cruising. They're going from one spot to the other. And as you can see, we're just there. You can see people hiking. The cool thing about an expedition cruise is that it kind of caters to what you want. So there's some beautiful elephant seals that were right there on the beach, along with all the penguins. And those little fur seal pups. They actually love to chase you, the adolescents do. And you can see the king penguins and see us just kind of walking among them. And there was thousands of them everywhere. They're very loud and kind of smelly. Here's a hike. So you can do that if you want, though. If it's up to you on your physical ability, you can just walk along the beach, or you can take a hike. You can see there's a red flag there. The guides get on early and they stake out the hike for you, and they're kind of stationed along the way, and you hike up. It's amazing, the snowdrifts and everything. And you can go as far as you want, or you can just stay on the beach. And the cool thing is they're going to have Zodiacs going back and forth all the time. So if you're cold or you're done, you can go back. If not, you can stay there until they kick you out and take everybody back. They'll give obviously an onboard time. But that's the neat thing about expedition cruising, is that you don't have to do all the hikes and everything. And yep, believe it or not, we were out in the middle on the Zodiac, and up comes one of the other Zodiacs with crew members on it, and they had a bar. with some hot chocolate and coffee. And as you can see, she's waving around the bottle of booze to add to the coffee or hot chocolate if you wanted it. So fun. And then kayaking. Oh my gosh. On Silversea, kayaking is included. There are some cruise lines that you have to pay extra for, so we can help you navigate that. But on Silversea, the kayaks are included. And pretty much, you're going to be able to get on several different times during your voyage. They try to make it fair and have a sign-up sheet, but there's a lot of kayaks, and it was amazing to be on that. Another thing about expedition cruises is you can dive into the Antarctic water. It's called the polar plunge. They're crazy. Sign your life away, but you can do it if you want. So this is the small theater where you do your briefings and when the scientist speaks and lets you know what you're going to do. I hope you have gotten an idea of the difference between expedition cruising and regular cruising in Antarctica. Come to the end of our journey here in Antarctica on the beautiful Seven Seas Splendor. We hope you enjoyed our video on the difference between a regular cruise in Antarctica and an expedition cruise. Why don't you give us a call? We are the experts down here in Antarctica. You want a travel agent that's been there, and we have done both. So call, email, text, get in contact with us and let us book your next cruise or any journey. Thanks, and see us on our next video on the Silversea Silver Moon.